Good Maven to you. If you don't know me, I am Olivia Denton Thomas, the brand counselor, helping you go from hustling to wholeness with brand strategy. And today I wanted to talk a little bit about the summer slowdown. So it's almost the end of summer, thank God. But this is a conversation I've been having a lot with clients, with friends, because summer is so weird, right? Um, Sales tend to slow down in summertime. And if you are new or growing, then it might freak you out a little bit. It might make you feel like the things that you're doing, the things that you're putting into play don't actually matter and they're not really resonating with anybody. But I kind of wanted to offer some different perspective on that because sometimes it just takes a little bit of time. I was having a conversation with someone the other day and they were like, brands don't make sales, but going directly into sales makes sales. And I think if you're coming from that perspective, summertime can feel like it is stabbing you constantly, right? Because you are trying specifically to sell in the summertime. Like you're trying to get people to cross the line. And if that's your only like focus, if that's your only like KPI, then you are going to feel crazy because people aren't really crossing the line the way that they do in other seasons, particularly fall and the spring. Summer and winter are slow down seasons, right? Summer, people are doing personal development, professional development, and vacationing, right? So if you didn't sell it to them in the springtime, like you're probably not going to sell it to them in the fall. Or better yet, if you didn't sell it to them the fall of the year prior, you're probably not going to be able to sell it to them in the summertime. The summertime is when people aren't really in the office. They are focused on the internals of the business. They kind of focus on their own execution, right? Like working in the business, not necessarily on the business. So summer is a little bit slower, and that's okay, right? It's okay. It just means you have to tune your sales cycle in a way where you can be prepared to not have as many sales in the summer. It's not that you won't get any sales in the summer, you might actually get some. And really depending on what your business is, like you might get some, right? But for the most part, I'm being general here. You will have to prepare yourself, and you can be conscious about it, right? You can be conscious about preparing yourself. So a lot of my clients, like a big thing that we work on is their presence, who they are in the background of the business. Obviously, it's branding. So branding is about like integrating personality and proof so that you can create an appropriate presence. That was a good iteration. And so it's kind of heavy. Like it's a lot of work. And then you come into the summertime and you're just like, oh my gosh, it's not working. It's working. But you have to think about it a little bit differently. Like I said, it's not like sales where there's an immediate push and an immediate return. It's a little bit longer. So what happens on the back end will last longer in the long run. So the first thing is it's hard, right? You are lit. As you are, you're actually pretty dope. You have a business that is founded in something real, right? If you have figured out how to integrate like your mission work into the work of your business and have like a really solid platform and have a good understanding of what you're delivering to people, it can actually be very hard to not have people convert in those ways, right? It makes you feel like the things that you're doing and saying actually don't make any sense. And maybe it's time to pivot, right? And a pivot might be appropriate. It might, but more likely than not, it's just not the season for that, right? So the volume just doesn't match what you are actually putting out. It's sunshine. People are not in the office. It's just not going to do what you would hope it is going to do, and that's perfectly fine. Like just because there's less noise doesn't make you any less valuable or amazing as you are. Secure reconnect. Oh no, that's crazy. 1 second, guys. It just said that I lost connection to my LinkedIn. Okay, so hopefully I'm reconnected to my LinkedIn now. Very strange to do it midstream. Here we are. You know it's valuable because people aren't really converting in the same way. So instead of sales, the thing that you need to be focusing on is your visibility, right? And not just the idea of like being viral and like finding that like one amazing moment, like putting out enough stuff and connections that you can actually be seen by the appropriate people. You can be checking out where your people are hanging out, where they might be looking for a little bit of like easy education on the subject matter, and you put your stuff there because people purchase what's familiar. And when you can create familiarity, it's easier for them when the time comes for them to actually say like, hey, you're my person, let's go do this. So don't think about going viral. Don't think about like the big conversions. Think about having enough consistency with your visibility that people trust that you are who you say you are, right? Like what happens a lot in the summer is the ball gets dropped even in the marketing of it. Like you kind of stop putting things out in general because you're discouraged and, or you're on vacation. Like there's a lot of reasons to kind of stop you in the summer as well. But it's actually a great time to prove that this is real and consistent. And thinking about visibility, reintroducing your brand, reintroducing your POV, helping people understand like who you serve and why you serve them, and really kind of getting deep into like the internals of what this is and why this even matters. It's a great time for that, right? And even introducing your frameworks, like what people need to know about you. And thinking about partnerships, right? So right now people are open to conversations. I will tell you that. And one of the better conversations you can have right now is, well, how do I push this business forward with a partner? They can be a partner for visibility. They can be a partner for actually creating a product or like working on a project together. Thinking about what else can be done moving forward strategically, enhancing your business through your brand connection through somebody else, right? When there's alignment, you can have these meetings to see if there's alignment and figure out if you guys are going to move forward and do something awesome together. That's been a lot of what I've been doing, reconnecting with people who I think are amazing. And we have a shared audience. They complement what I do so that I can say, hey, you do this, I do this. What can we do in the fall, winter, spring, summer, so on, right? Like, how do we actually take advantage of this next year to be better together, right? Like, don't be discouraged by the quiet. You might have to create your own noise in a different kind of way. It's not sales, it might be partnership, it might be putting out more proof. It might be like creating more depth and helping people to understand more clearly who you are and what it is that you're doing. And again, the consistency continues to prove that over and over again. So one thing that's important to remember is resistance, right? Whenever you're doing something that is important or inspired or just bigger than you might have felt like you could ever do before, a thing that will always appear is resistance. One of my favorite books is called The War of Art. I suddenly can't remember the author's name, but it's called The War of Art. And the whole premise is resistance will always present itself. It can be internal resistance or external resistance. So internal resistance might be you misappropriating your time, you spending time with the wrong people, you not giving yourself enough chances to do the thing that you need to do, right? External resistance can be people saying how they don't believe in you. It could be slow sales cycles. It can be kind of anything coming from the outside to the inside saying, hey, maybe this isn't for you, right? Anything that creates friction in your process and makes you feel like, hey, I should probably put this down and never look at it again because it hurts, right? Resistance triggers your nervous system. So fight, flight, fawn, freeze, right? For some people, fawn becomes the response and they go into overdrive and they start like working too much, trying to figure out like how to make people like them. Um, and essentially that's manipulation, right? Like there's a lot of marketing in the world that is manipulation versus marketing that's based in meaning, mercy for another person on the other side because they have something that they want to grow into, right? Like meaning, mercy, mission. But that's really what marketing should be. But a lot of the time, if we're not actually like connected to the work we're doing, it's more so like just to bring somebody in so that they can have a transaction, right? And I've said manipulation like 2 or 3 times, and I kind of try to avoid like strong language like that, where it's like, oh, it's manipulation because it sounds very flat. Um, but if we are not actually connected to the thing that we're selling, and we're not actually connected to the outcomes, then really that is what it is, right? Because we're just trying to get the transaction off, as opposed to creating something that's going to change a life, right? That's the point of business. That's the point of community. That's the point of each of us having our individual strengths and weaknesses so that we can fill the gaps for each other. And that's really what we should be working on selling, right? This is why I'm doing this. This is why it matters. This is how it's going to change your life and get you to the other side in one way or another. Um, so the easiest thing to do when you are triggered is to jump into that place of people pleasing, right? Where it's like, oh man, I'm going to give everybody everything they want, or fight. Sometimes you overproduce. Um, which is kind of the same as fawn in a weird way. You can overproduce or get angry with yourself, get angry with other people. Flight, you can just quit it altogether. I've seen that a lot. This is usually, this is the dip, right? Or this is one of the dips you can experience, but this is the dip, where something kind of throws you off your game and you have to decide if this is real or not. And the more you can decide that this is real, the stronger you'll be in the pursuit of the thing, which is great. You want to be strong in the pursuit of the thing. The pursuit itself might change. That's fine. Pivoting is okay. But you have to have the strength of and in the pursuit. So like, don't let the resistance win, right? Don't let the seasonality of things make you feel like this isn't for you and you need to do something else. You might need to supplement, right? Like if there wasn't enough planning or whatever, you might need to supplement, and that's fine. And then you need to plan differently for next year. How many sales do you need to have so that by the time summer rolls around, you can focus on, brand building, on marketing, on relationship building, all of those different kinds of things. This is where you get strategic. Like it's okay to be strategic instead of just being a bulldozer. There's a period of your business where you are kind of a bulldozer, right? The hustle phase. And you're figuring out what's what and what's going to work and what's not going to work. But that phase cannot last forever. And eventually you have to start asking the questions about, well, what does order look like for the business that I'm creating so that you can actually operate in that order. And when things are off, you can make changes because you know that there's something that's supposed to happen that is not happening, right? Like we have to mature into being better business owners. We have to mature into being better CEOs and founders, right? Because if we're constantly just like playing and running around like kids on the playground, then that's what the business is going to be. It's going to be a hobby. It's going to be a source of stress. it is going to be, painful more than it is fulfilling. Like, and it's not to say that business is not painful sometimes, like it's not challenging. Um, but a challenge leads to something, right? As opposed to just futility. We're trying to avoid futility. And you are amazing, and you deserve to not be in a loop of futility. That is so serious. Um, you can lose so much time to that futility when you are not strategic and making choices that are going to further yourself, first of all, and then business, like as a means of manifesting your maturity, right? The business matures almost as you mature, right? Like it can't really get where you haven't been. So you have to actually jump into that direction before your business can even get there. And summertime is a great time to think about what that looks like. In the same way that the companies or the people you're trying to sell to are doing personal and professional development, taking breaky breaks, so that they can be refreshed and jump back in. Like you should be doing the same thing. I was just talking to someone who was a potential client who is, she's tired. Like everything is changing right now. Everything is changing in the economy and the business landscape, and her prospects don't look the same as they used to. And the option that we were talking through in the moment was, we can jump into branding. We can jump into like the specific kind of branding that she needs. We can jump into like any of those things, but we don't actually have to do it right now. Like if she has the resources and the ability to take a break, um, she needs to do that. Like I would rather her take the break and go figure herself out foundationally before trying to run on empty. It's going to do her bad in the long run. It's going to do me bad in the long run if she's running on empty. Like, it's not what I want for her. It's not what I want for us, right? And it's something that I am valuing and practicing for myself too. Rest. I'm not good at it at all, but it is something that I do value. And it's something that I'm trying to practice. And it is something that I'm encouraging other people to practice because I understand that it's restorative and regenerative, right? Like a lot of these problems we have are actually because we can't rest, or actually because a lot of the information that's going into us can't actually process or metabolize because our systems of like passive thinking are overrun with fatigue. Like we need to be able to think passively, but if we are overrun with fatigue, emotional fatigue, physical fatigue, mental fatigue, then we are going to get stuck. We don't want to be stuck. I think rest is beautiful. Rest is wonderful. And I hope that more of us get it. So as you set your things to go automatically, there's so many things you can use to like preset your stuff, set your stuff to go automatically, and make sure that you rest. Make sure that you are reading good books and taking your time and breathing and having a good time. A friend of mine just had a baby, and I sent her some pina colada mixers so she can make virgin pina coladas because like that feels like rest for her while she is nursing this baby, right? So whatever feels like rest for you, it doesn't have to be a trip out of the country. It doesn't have to be, something huge. It can be just a moment of rest, an intentional 15 to 30 minutes of rest every day, right? Because you deserve that space. Like you cannot be dope if you're depleted. It doesn't really work that way. So you have to figure out ways to continuously regenerate and really till the soil, right? Like if you overplant the ground, it doesn't grow with the same nutrients that it actually should grow with. Like whatever fruit, whatever, is born of that ground doesn't have the same nutrients if the ground is depleted. You are soil. So you need to till and rest and give it a little time to replenish so that you can put more nutrients out into the world. Because we are a guardian. I actually love that metaphor very much. So one of the best things you can do with this time is prove who you are. Be consistent, prove who you are, not because anybody is like holding you up and trying to like judge you for, whatever, but just be who you are publicly as much as you can. Put your content out there into the world. Create your partnerships for what it looks like going forward. Do have meetings with prospects. If a prospect is willing to have a meeting with you, have a meeting with a prospect. Like summertime prospect meetings, they're great too. They leave the stuff in the fall. I have a lot of stuff lined up for the fall because the summertime prospect meetings, right? Like, still do the things, and don't be discouraged. Take care of yourself and remember that everything you're doing makes you someone that someone wants to keep around, right? Like the thing I've been thinking about more and more. And candidly, the campaigning that I'm working on is this idea of being irreplaceable. What makes somebody irreplaceable, right? It's like a mix between presence and proof. But you have to honor your own presence before asking anyone else to honor your presence. So this is a great time to do that. I'm excited for you, right? Summer's almost over, but there's still a little time to take in some fresh air and honor your own presence so that you can put in the work, you can put in the energy for other people to see just like how irreplaceable you really are. So that being that, have a great day. I'm going to be working on the same thing, right? Like anything I'm talking to you about, it's because I'm working on it myself from varying perspectives, right? Like especially in my like personal life to business life, I think they're all very much connected. Even though in the past it was like, no, your personal life and your business life are different. Well, you're one person, so honestly, they are connected because you are connected, right? You are the connection point. So it does matter to make sure that you have integrity on either side and practice that, right? Like sometimes you don't do the right thing and you have to go back and practice integrity, see where things went wrong, and then figure out, who you are moving forward and how it aligns and how to bring it back into alignment, right? Alignment's not nebulous. It depends on you. It depends on what you actually want from this life, and it depends on who you want to project yourself to be and just kind of who you are. So, I hope you take the time to really enjoy your own presence. Really enjoy your own presence as you're doing your things in the summertime. Until then, stay intentional, keep flourishing. If you want to work on becoming an irreplaceable brand, I'd love to work with you. I really would. I will drop the details in the comment section and we can have a brand breakthrough session and just kind of look at your stuff and see what the opportunities are as I see them. It is complimentary. And I really just like meeting new people and hearing the ideas. One of the most amazing things I've been enjoying recently is talking to clients who, we just finished their, well, for some it's the power hour, for some it's the VIP day. And just kind of hearing them like go into different places and say like, now that this is on paper, I want to think about this, right? Just the idea that like their vision can expand and even some like things they've been dreaming about and thinking about are possible because now there's a plan and they can take action toward it because it's clear, right? So that brand clarity is something that's so important to me. So if you're looking for it, I'll go provide it. Like I said, have a good day. Have a good Maven morning. Stay intentional and keep flourishing. All right. Bye.